Secondly, have a fallback option. So, and then decide how many attempts you're going to make. If I make it in the first attempt, well and good. If I don't, am I going to get 2, 3? Should I use my 4? How old will I be at that stage? What else can I do if I don't make it? So think about that. So I suggest is for those who are looking at it, make sure you have a fallback option. Very clear fallback option. I've already done my degree and my postgraduate degree. I've done my BBA or MBA. I know that if I don't get into civil services, I can still get a job because I have an MBA, or I've done my law degree, or I've done a postgraduate master's, and I know what I'm looking for. And that gives you a sense of comfort, and therefore you know that's something I can fall back on. The second thing you need to think about very clearly is, what are my reasons for wanting to join the civil service, as with any career? And many students tell me, I want to serve the country. And my thinking is, everybody who works in any job is serving the country. So, whether you're a teacher or a businessman or a designer or an architect, you're still doing things which are benefiting the country. So, don't look at it from that point of view. Look at it from the kind of work I will do. Will I be actually able to add value to the job I do? And from what I can see, very often what happens is you spend 5 years in the districts when you probably do the best work. After that you get into the center, most of the time you're just pushing files here and there, and you're at the behest of the politicians. So, if you're prepared for that, by all means, that could be a good service. But keep in mind, because I come across many who are frustrated, having joined the service, and then find that there are other alternatives that I should have looked at and I didn't. So keep all those in mind when you want to join any of these things as a civil service. Now that is also more prominent in smaller places where people like, I have a job with a batti wali gadi and all of that. It tends to add a lot of glamour. Yeah.
Can you please throw some light on the course of Masters in Business Administration, MBA?
Yes. What about MBA?
Good colleges and studying in India and abroad.
Okay, MBA is something that today practically everybody who wants to get into a business or corporate career feels they need to get into, and I think it's a very good subject in a course to do. But the MBA, you have to look at it is which area of specialization you want to do. Very often those who finish from graduation want to rush into an MBA straight away. They haven't had much of experience of figuring out which area they might want to do the MBA in, and therefore they end up sometimes in the wrong area, or get into a specialization they're not comfortable with, or after that into a job which they don't like. So I normally suggest to most students is that after you finish your graduation, work for at least 1 or 2 years. It not only betters your chances of getting into a good MBA institute, but it helps you to confirm in your mind which area of work you might want to do. So if you've already got a job, you're working in a bank, you know, do I like it? Do I want to continue? Should I do an MBA finance or not? Or in the organization, you may be dealing with other people who may be in marketing and HR, and you might get to know about those other areas, and you might find, no, that area may be better. Maybe I should get into that particular area. So that is one way in which you figure out what kind of MBA to do. The second, whether you want to do it in India or abroad, the top MBA institutes abroad are undoubtedly the best in the world. But getting into it is difficult and very, very expensive. There are no scholarships for any MBA program because they feel after an MBA, you earn sufficiently to be able to pay for that degree, and so therefore they place it at a very high cost. Now, what happens with Indian students who go to study abroad at an MBA? You may or may not get placements. There's some who do, some who don't, because as a foreign student, they can't really be placed in unless you have a visa to work there. So, with that foreign degree, you come back, you are then looking for jobs in India, which many of the people who've done an MBA in India find easier to get because they have already got a linkage with their institute and they get the placement through the campus placement.